Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hi and welcome back to How to Paint Watercolours with me, Colin. This is a £140 weight rough paper and I have pre-stretched it, but I'm just putting a very thin film of water over it. Dry the brush off, go around the edge, just forcing some of the bristles under the paper to remove any excess water, and hopefully that will stop any runbacks from trying to form a mix of maple yellow. Just in here, very pale. Bring it into your rocks, don't bother about the horizon line or anything like that. Then into that Naples yellow and Turner red, just to create a pink. I'm just going to put some of this in here. Remember, it will dry lighter. When I like to use the Daisy palette, I mix up my colours basically almost to full strength, which means that I can then let them down with water to create the different tones, different values. Then into that, this is Pyrrole Orange. I'm using a round brush, but you can use any brush that you feel comfortable with. Just allowing it to get stronger as it comes further up and just putting in patches. Some down here as well. This is a mixture of Pyrrole Orange and Turner red. I want to put this in the sky, strong. As it comes through the film of water, you can see how it gets thinner. Into the rocks. Watercolor magenta. Some in here as well. Just putting a few interesting colours into the sky. Back to the Pyrrole Orange and Turner red. Just strengthen it up in areas. I've got the board laying flat. We should now leave that to dry. I'm just taking a small filbert brush. This is a number 4. This is cobalt blue and orange. Pyrrole orange, and we're just going to put some small clouds in here at the bottom. Once again, just creating some interesting shapes with these, and also I have here a damp brush for when we need to soften the clouds off at the bottom, just to give some soft and hard edges. The sea line in where it meets the horizon. Soften off the bottom edge, getting slightly bigger as we come further up. Now this is a wet over dry technique. The paper is still slightly damp, and taking some cobalt blue and burnt sienna with just a touch of Turner red. You can just darken up some of the bottoms on these. Bring it over the rocks so it makes it look like it's coming from behind. Add some shadow. Then with the bigger brush, flat brush, we can start to put some heavier clouds in. I think we'll bring the main one in here. This is the cobalt blue, burnt sienna and Turner red. wiggling the brush about. And brush, just soften off some of the edges. Back to the colour. Remember to make your clouds interesting. Soften off some of these edges. Build your sky up slowly. Get really dark in this corner, but I also want to leave some shapes showing through. Some of the red and the magenta. And then we have a stronger mixture of that colour, so the paint is thicker, as you can see, and I just want to darken some areas but not everywhere. Also on this side as well. I've got the board laying flat, soften some edges off. Now this is sepia and cobalt blue, but what I am actually going to do, I'm going to darken this one up. So I've added that to the cobalt blue and burnt sienna with the touch of the naphtha red, Turner red. And I think I just want to add this just to create some darker places within the clouds. It builds up a little bit more depth. I'm just taking some clean water now, and I'm just going to put this where the rocks are, just to re-wet it, as most of this will be wetting wet, and then we will lift some paint out, and hopefully the underwash will show through. This is sepia cobalt blue with just a touch of burnt sienna to send it onto the brown side, because I actually want it to be lighter as we come forward. And I'm just dropping it in, but leading it where I want it to go. And then while we have that in, this is the same mixture again, but with a lot more sepia in it and a little bit more of the cobalt blue. And just running this in as a shadow kind of thing, really. And back to the orange and cobalt blue mixture. We can just maybe give a hint of waves. Just pinch a little bit of this pile of orange that might be left here, and we're going to add that in as well. Horizontally. It's cobalt blue with a touch of burnt sienna and Turner red. Just under where I want the waves to be, I'm just going to darken some of this, and I also want to put a surf line in here. And back to your flat brush again with the cobalt blue, burnt sienna and Turner red. we're going to pull some of this from the surf line into the sea. I just want to take some paint out on this front edge of this cliff to allow some of the underwash to show through. And I've said before, don't go wild with this and remove all the paint that you've put on, because that's something you really don't want to do. But I just want to create that interest in the cliffs here. Happy with that. So we're going to leave this to dry. Okay, this is cobalt blue burnt sienna with a touch of red in it. The Turner red. This is a very watery mix. I'm just bringing it towards the beach, but I want a dry line so that it doesn't actually make contact with the beach. I'm just going to take a little bit of the excess off. This is the burnt sienna with a touch of cobalt blue and sepia, and I just want to drop a little bit of this in, but I don't want to make the shadow too dark in the sea. Kind of a suggestion: re-wet your beach area, sort of right up to the surf line. It's nice and wet. Take any excess water off, and into that, this is pyrrole orange. So all basically horizontal strokes, but they will dry lovely and flat for you. Watercolor, which is the cobalt blue and orange, which brings it a bit darker. Cobalt blue burnt sienna with Turner red, and we're just going to bring this in and we're going to darken this area of the beach where there's a film of water on it. But it will also help pull your eye into the painting. Some of them can be quite dark, which I might just use in the corner. Maybe there's something throwing a shadow out there. And then what we'd like to do, and this is, I want to bring the top of this cliff shadow onto the beach, but I didn't want it to be too runny, and I didn't want it to interfere that much with the sea. Now the sepia, cobalt blue, with a touch of burnt sienna. Just strengthen it up there. Just pull it so it fades. Soften off this edge. And once again, we have to wait for that to dry. Now that bit's dried off, what I just want to do is come back and underneath here with some cobalt blue and the burnt sienna and the Turner red, is to just put some dark edges into the surf. I'm using a rigger brush, but you can use any brush that's round one or any brush you feel comfortable with. Then taking my small flat brush with the same colour, I just want to add a few ripples on the sand, all done in horizontal strokes. This is almost like a glaze going over. It shows up best when you cut across the red, which is the reflection of the sky in the wet sand. It just helps to add a little bit of movement. Which is basically what we're after, really, just a little bit of movement. Paint out of here, just to mimic the rocks up there slightly. Okay. Just lifting a bit of the paint out. Not too much. That's all I want to do with that, really. Maybe just here. Maybe just a seagull or two or three. As I've said before, 3 is better than 2. And now I just want to take some white gouache and just along the tops of the waves. I just want to bring some sparkle back. Just trying not to overdo this. I do want it bright here. Maybe just a tiny bit on the sand. Onto the wet sand. Okay, I think that's about enough. Don't want to do any more with that. Now you get round to the best bits. You get to sign it and mount it, then frame it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please click the like button and subscribe. Always remember, subscribing costs you nothing. And if you wish to have a go at painting something more traditional, I'll leave a link in the description box, and you can have a look at some other painting videos that I have made. So, thank you very much for watching.